Katie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a react video, and I'm going to be reacting to Reddit confessions. So, confessions from people on Reddit. The link to all of these will be in the description of the video. So the first one is, I put peanut butter in my friend's drink thinking she was lying about her allergy. I was young, only in the 2nd grade, and had recently been taught about lying. After our lessons on sinning and doing bad stuff, I developed the idea that my friend, let's call her Lily, was lying about her peanut allergy and just didn't like peanut butter, but was too ashamed to tell me they were my favorite snack at the time. Not to mention the times when someone would bring in a snack for the class and we'd always have to check if they had peanuts in them. If they did, the whole class couldn't eat them so that she wouldn't feel left out. I was tired of what I thought was a dumb made-up lie and decided to take matters into my own hands by bringing a big jar of peanut butter and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Once it's snack break, I waited until Lily went to the bathroom to take out my peanut butter jar to slip a spoonful into her cup, shaking it good so she wouldn't suspect a thing. Once she came back, she sat down and drank some of her peanut butter infused water. As she did so, I watched with wide eyes, making sure to take in every detail, now convinced that she's been lying the whole time. Suddenly, Lily started coughing uncontrollably, choking and thrashing herself all over the floor. It also didn't help that she forgot her EpiPen at home that day. Oh my god. Causing her to convulse and forcing my teacher to call an ambulance. It turned out she was severely allergic to peanut butter, and I never had the gall to tell her what I had done that day. We're still friends today, and she strongly believes that her father was trying to kill her that day since she got in a fight with him the day before regarding her dead mother. Oh my god. Oh my god. Not only did you try to freaking kill her, she didn't have her EpiPen, and she thought her father did it, and you let her think her father did it all this time? Oh my god. Wow. Confession number 2. I let my friend take the blame for my accident in 2nd grade, and it still haunts me. What is it with you 2nd graders? The last person was in 2nd grade, and now this one in 2nd grade. When I was in 2nd grade, my classroom was connected to another classroom through a shared bathroom. There was a sign-in sheet for the bathroom because so many of us used it, and there were previous issues with boys in the class peeing all over the floor. One day, I used the bathroom right before lunch and did not use the sign-in sheet. I don't remember how or why this happened, but I remember getting pee all over the floor and toilet seat. I think I really had to go and couldn't fully hold it in until I sat down. I cleaned myself up and attended lunch with the rest of my class. When we got back from lunch, a girl from the other class informed her teacher that the bathroom was in shambles. Many of my other classmates were accused and denied the accusations while I stayed silent. I was a very anxious kid who was bullied by all the other girls in my class for being a little bit chubby, so the last thing I was going to do was expose myself and face the repercussions. Another boy in my class who was actually my friend ended up being blamed and sent to the principal's office. I still feel terrible about it because he was bullied for it and no one believed it wasn't him besides me. I stood by him and we remained friends until I moved schools in 4th grade, but it still haunts me from time to time. Oh, that poor friend. Were you really his friend, though? Were you really? Next one. I put Dettol, Dettol, in my sister's drink to stop her from going to the swimming race. I think it was about 8 years ago, and I was roughly about 9 years old, when my sister, 10 years old, was asked to participate in my primary school's annual swimming gala. I think I'd missed the deadline or the sign-up sheet was already full by the time I wanted to take part, so the teacher told me that if my sister fell ill before the race and was unable to compete, then I would be able to take her place. I offered to make her some juice to take with her while she packed her bag, and I sprayed some Dettol antibacterial surface cleaner into the bottle to see if it would make her ill. I didn't know if it would make her seriously ill. I was being selfish and just wanted to swim. Every few minutes I kept asking her if she felt alright. Secretly I was worried that I'd actually made her sick, but she kept telling me she was alright and her drink just tasted funny. In the end, she took part in the race, and I never confessed. But it's been so long that she won't remember it, as in, her eyes, it wasn't that big of a deal. Her drink just tasted off. Even now, I still feel bad and ask myself why I did something so stupid. Dude. You literally could have poisoned your sister. Like, literally. Could have poisoned her. Over swimming. Actually, I don't know if Dettol, I don't even know what Dettol is. If I'm even saying it right, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's poisonous, but I'm sure it's a cleaner. So I'm sure it is poisonous. But like, seriously, you could have killed your sister. And this one is like shorter. When I was 9, I used to go to the YMCA as an after-school program. Special needs people would go there too, full-on adults. I told my friend to go into a bathroom where they all get naked after swimming, and I held the door closed for a couple minutes. It's the meanest thing I've ever done. Honestly, looking back on it, I still sort of laugh if I think of it from 9-year-old me's perspective. No lie, special needs people would go in there to get changed, but after like 15 minutes, their caretaker has to go in there to actually make them get dressed. I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like if you didn't specify the fact that they were disabled people, or special needs people, that it would be whatever, but like, I don't know, the fact that you like distinguished that these were like special needs people, it makes me feel weird about it. I don't know. I shut down my school for 2 weeks due to a horrible accident. In high school, I was a pretty crazy kid. I went to a bunch of parties, got into fights, and got detention and suspension multiple times. One day, I wasn't feeling like myself, so I brought something to school. Later that day, the school was evacuated. I did something horrible. So at lunch, I took out my food. I ate it and then went to the bathroom with my backpack, heavy because of things inside. Then I took something out of it. Toilet paper. I then farted so hard, poopy came out, and I shut down the school. The end. I feel like you're making this up. I feel like this did not happen. How did it shut down for 2 weeks? Was it like the day before winter break? Are you making this up? I don't know how to feel about that. In 2nd grade, I stole this kid's whole collection of Pokemon cards while everyone was at recess. What is up with y'all being savage in the 2nd grade? He was very well off and ill-mannered, and I was a klepto who took a chance after he showed me some cards. When we all went to recess, I asked my teacher if I could get my jacket from the classroom, immediately get up there and just take them out of his backpack's open pocket, put them in my hoodie. We came back from recess and he was crying because they were gone. I don't feel bad because he told this one girl, who was also in 2nd grade, that he wanted to, R-word her, and that's enough of a red flag for me to not feel regret. He also had punched my friend in a game of Foursquare. Kids seem to have a beautiful family dynamic as well, but I'm not going to assume anything. Truly, I have no real idea how his life is, but we all have crazy struggles that go undermined because everyone has them. Thoughts, controversy, and arguments allowed. And it says, edit, some people are saying, I think it's justified, it's not, it is morally wrong to steal. Blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. That was kind of big. I lied about physical abuse as a kid to get out of my house. Oh my goodness. I was a teenager at the time. I'm older now. I wanted a Matilda life. My family was dysfunctional, rude, mean at times, struggling with various mental health issues and alcoholism. There was a friend I made back in school whose family I adored. I wished it was my family. Not for her not to be there, but for me to be a part of it. I wanted to be her sister. My father and older brother drank heavily. I was alone most of the time because the puddles of unknown substances and the smell was just intolerable to me. So I tried everything I could. I said I was being physically and verbally abused. Only one was true, and it was reinforced when my cousin walked in on my brother in a drunken state, pulling my clothes off as a joke. I was upset that he was trying to take them off. I didn't know what would happen. I'd heard about the horror stories, too much unsolved mysteries at 5, I guess. I tried desperately to get someone to get me out of that house and give me a life with a regular family. I thought only my family was that broken. I lied to get out of punishment, and lied to cover up the fact that I'd forgotten to do something, but I'd go do it doesn't make it okay. I'm trying to come clean, make it right, but I'm terrified, but it needs to happen. It was verbal neglect, not physical, and I've come clean about it, but I still want to confess. I've lied to people to like me, pretended to know what they were talking about so I didn't sound stupid. I've lied compulsively a long time and want to stop. I get it. Although you weren't being physically abused, you were being verbally abused, and that can be just as damaging. And plus, your older brother taking off your clothes as a joke is not okay. Like, I wonder what would have happened if your cousin hadn't walked in. So, I mean, if people weren't listening when you said verbal abuse, even though, like, lying's not okay, I think you genuinely had a reason to cry out more for help. When I was around 4th grade, my best friends committed suicide, and no one knew the reason why but only me. At the start of 4th grade, I met this girl. Her name was V. Me and V, throughout the school year, were really close friends, and honestly, we had a lot of fun in school. We would share all secrets we had, clap our hands in our way, which was very funny, to be honest, but one day she came out of the closet to me as a guy, and I accepted her, of course, and he wanted to be called a Dan, or I don't know if it's supposed to say Adam or a Dan. As a kid back then, I didn't know back then, and I was very happy for my friends, so I told him it was a good idea to tell his parents about it. I thought they would accept him the way he is. The next day, Adon confessed to his parents about it, but they didn't take it well. Afterwards, I became his number one person he could rely on. Some days he would come with bruises or tears in his eyes, and I tried to bring a teacher's attention, but nothing changed. Teachers were simply too busy. Every day, on and on, I tried my best to convince him that everything will change to better, but his last words is that what if they don't? The next day, his parents found him dead in his room. Even on his gravestone, they put his dead name. I just miss my childhood friends so much. I love you, Adon, wherever you are. Wow. That's heavy. That's extremely heavy. Wow. Could you imagine, supporting your friends so much and, thinking that telling his parents would be such a good idea, and then, he gets, abused for it, and then he commits suicide because of it? Nowhere do I feel like OP is at fault, because how was OP supposed to know the reaction of the parents, OP was just trying to support their friend, but I can't even imagine, the guilt, even though it's not OP's fault, it's the parents' fault. That's just, wow, that's crazy heavy, man. My family thinks I don't like hair, and that's why I don't like having my hair played with. When I was 4 or 5, I had a severe accident that effed up my head really bad, and now my hair is different. My family loves my hair because it's super soft and fluffy, but I don't like them playing with it, and I tell them it's because it hurts. However, the real reason is because having my hair and scalp to mess with is really nice, and because it's so sensitive and it turns me on. I was in the shower one day and the water pressure hit just the right spot on my head, and gosh darn. Either way, I won't ever tell them this, but it's awkward when they try and I have to hiss at them like a cat. Oh wow. I was about to say same, I don't like my hair being played with, but then, the reason I don't like my hair being played with is not the same reason that OP doesn't like their hair played with. That took a turn. That took a big turn. A coworker died at the restaurant I worked at, and we just brushed it off. Back in 2019, I was a cook at a famous chicken restaurant, and we were having a cook meeting one afternoon, and the GM came flying around the corner freaking out for someone to call 911, since an employee just collapsed onto the floor. We stood around until the paramedics came, and when they came, I'm pretty sure she was already gone. I avoided her at all costs because it's scary to see that, especially at your job. We stayed open and continued to serve food, having to walk past and over a dead body. After it was all said and done, everyone was naturally upset. The whole shift was people crying because they witnessed a friend pass and were forced to just keep working. They wanted us to move on and pretend it never happened, but it still haunts me. Holy crap. That title was not what I expected. The fact that they just had to, keep working and stepping over the body, this place couldn't afford to just shut down for the day, or at least until the body was freaking removed from the building. I literally just thought that, a coworker died, and, they just brushed it off. But no, it was in the restaurant, and they kept working. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having to step over your friend's body to make some freaking chicken? That's crazy. That is beyond crazy to me. I've been having nightmares every night since January 2020. I would like to share the ones I've written down. Context: I, 23 male, am a veteran having served 5 years in the United States Marine Corps. I never saw combat and would like to say that I never experienced any PTSD causing events. I worked on helicopters, which is a high-stress, long-hour job. I have since been diagnosed with severe anxiety and nightmare disorder, believed to be a symptom of my anxiety. So this is the nightmare. I was in a war-torn area in a desert urban environment with a bunch of people that looked familiar, like people from work. As the enemy, who also looked familiar, came towards us through buildings across a small road from us. They started shooting and we returned fire. At one point the enemy was throwing grenades and they were blowing up right in front of me. As I was in a corner, an enemy was about to throw a grenade and I shot him with what I think was an MG-42. His right arm and shoulder blew off and in pieces, and he fell behind a wall out of sight. After that, I attempted to throw a grenade that looked like a World War II style German grenade that bounced off the wall and back in front of me and my friendlies. Someone jumped on it, but it didn't explode, so he picked it up to hand it to another friendly, and as it was between them, it exploded, blowing both of their arms off and into pieces. I woke up soon after, as the fight seemed lost. First of all, wow. I'm sorry that you have those nightmares. Even though you didn't, or just because you didn't see any combat doesn't make it any less traumatic. I'm sure you've known people who died in the line of duty or got injured in the line of duty. And I don't think it's like, it's not uncommon, I wouldn't think, for a veteran to have PTSD, whether they saw combat or not, you know? Okay, we're gonna do one more confession. Okay, I'm a 28-year-old man who made an OnlyFans showing off my feet and pretending to be a woman. I'm a pretty small dude and my feet are size 9s, so when I wax them, lotion them, and paint my nails, my feet look very feminine. I take pictures and video of them in different scenarios and situations doing different things, trying to be vague so people don't figure out I'm not a girl. I actually have a decent following and I've been making a good amount of money so far, but obviously the money would stop if people figured out these are men's feet. I mean, power to you. Power to you. If your feet are nice enough to make money off of, why not? Like, mine aren't. My feet are terrible. I hate my feet. But like, if you have nice enough feet that you can make money off of, do it. Like, who cares if you have to pretend to be a woman? It's just, I mean, you're making money, dude. So yeah, that's all. I might do another confessions video because, I mean, I have quite a few, but this video is long enough for my liking. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.